What started out as a fun thing to stream turned into probably the most craziest, stupidest thing I've probably done. The quest for a living shiny Pokedex. Here in my Pokemon home, you can see I've got about 1025 Pokemon deposited, which is interesting because that's the tournament Pokemon that exists today. But no, I don't have that many shinies in my decks, in my Pokemon home right now. It has been over 6 years since I started streaming Pokemon Let's Go Eevee and Let's Go Pikachu for something to do on Twitch. And I thought this would be a fun way to get to shiny hunting because up until this point I had never shiny hunted before. And it was fun. I had a lot of good times and memories and obviously built my community around that game. However, that itch became a bit more when Pokemon Sword and Shield came out. After turning my attention to that game, I decided to put Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu to the side for a fair bit so I could spend some time focusing shiny hunting on that game. Pokemon Sword and Shield was the first mainline game proper that I started shiny hunting in, and oh boy, what an experience. I kid you not. If we go to my profile, we go to my thingamajiggy here, we have the daunting realization that I've spent 6,570 hours on Pokemon Sword. Why, you ask? Well, you see, shiny hunting in this game was a bit of an addiction. Masuda method was quite an easy method to do, and well, you lose track of time, and obviously you've somehow managed to conjure up that many hours. And yes, obviously you would think, oh, you spent that much time playing that game, that you surely would have heard all the shinies. And you'd be correct. There's Grookey down the bottom corner. And even up to this point. Now, apparently I am missing a Dreepy. Huh, I'm missing a Dreepy. That's fine, I'll go back and shiny hunt that. But as you can see here too, there is a few spaces missing because in the terms of those who are shiny locked. So I believe we're missing Urshifu's and we're missing Calyrex and the horses. So I've got something to do now. I've got to go shiny that Dreepy. But yeah, so this is the problem with the mainline games on Switch, is that most of the legends and mythicals, some of them are shiny locked. Thank goodness for the Regieleki and Regidraco not being shiny locked, because that would have been painful. Speaking of painful, these two Regis, one of them decided to play the game. This guy did not. I don't want to talk about how long this thing took, but hey, we eventually got it, and that's all that matters. If you look at the nickname, Zizi, when you're encountering it, this is the text box that comes up. Same thing with this one. It's strange, but that's what it is. So, as this being my first mainline Pokemon shiny hunting game, I had a goal, and that was to get most of the Pokemon that I could in luxury balls. Oop, we found one in a quick ball, roll. But yeah, as you can see, most of these in this first box are in a luxury ball. And you're probably wondering about the nicknames. The nicknames originate from their Japanese names. So when you go into Bulbapedia, you'll see the name of the Pokemon in English, and then underneath you'll see it in katakana in Japanese. So a lot of these I've basically got in the English version of the Japanese names. So like Ace Bun, it's actually, yeah, it's really Ace Bun, but because of the way it's written in katakana, it looks like it says Ace Burn. And yeah, so that was the main thing with nicknames. However, there were some Pokemon, I don't think they were in this generation, but some of them had the same name in English as they did in Japanese. So what I did was, where can I find a good example? A good example is the legendaries, specifically the ones I've got from Gen 4 here. So Dialga is the same name for the English and Japanese as well as all the other versions of languages. Same thing with Palkia, Heatran, and even Regigigas. I had my own nickname for Regigigas because he's just a giant king. And same thing with Garatina. However, I caught Garatina in Japanese Pokemon Platinum, so I had to shorten it. Aglade is Dialga backwards. Aclap is Palkia backwards. Nate is Heatran backwards. And Anita is kind of like Garatina backwards, but not really. But yeah, it makes sense. Oh, and of course, who can forget Yudpanum? And my favourite, Cradira. So yeah, you get the idea. If some of the Pokemon had the same name in English and Japanese backwards, I would just give it a stupid name. I forgot to give Snover a nickname. Okay, that's something to remember too. So yeah, that's basically how it's been so far. And the main thing too is the other goal was I was to shiny hunt the Pokemon from the game it originated from, with the exception of the very first games being Pokemon Fire Red, Yellow, Blue, Green, or whatever. I just there's no you can shiny hunt them to a degree, but you won't know they're shiny until you put them into another game. So with that being said, I've shiny hunted through many different games. Starting off with Pokemon Fire Red, Leaf Green. I've got them on cartridge. And then I've got Pokemon Japanese Emerald, for which, if you actually see here, even there's a Solrock here. So Solrock... I forgot. Solrock is the perfect example of a Pokemon who has an English name and Japanese name is the same. So what you're seeing there is Kuroruso, which is Solrock backwards. Yeah, I know, a bit strange. Lunatone has the same situation, but I wrote it in English. So instead of Lunatone, it's Enote Anol. So yeah, you can sort of see where this is going. Same thing with these two. These guys are from Japanese, and I'm pretty sure their names are backwards as well. So we got Supernova, and Doruma, which means I think that's actually a Moldo backwards as well. So again, most of these are in. Oh, some of these are not. That's in a quick ball. That's in a Pokeball. Oh, that's a gift. Okay, so the thing is too, right? Is some of these Pokemon are gifts. So fossils are gifts. They cannot be in any other Pokeballs. They have to be in them. Otherwise, there should be a vast majority of these should be in luxury balls. Or we missed a couple here, but that's okay. I'm happy with that being the case. And there's some I need to change some nicknames. So you get the idea though. There's some I've Flygon because it's very original. Some of these names in Japanese, like you should search up some of the names for the other generations of Pokemon. They've got the best names. Harry Timiyama. Why did I call you that? So far, I've completed Gen 8 and 9. Gen 7's not too far from being done. Gen 6 is done. Gen 5 has got work to do. Gen 4 is also got some work to do. But as you can see, there weren't many Pokemon in Gen 6, so it was pretty straightforward. Not too much to be too worried about there. Gen 7's just about complete though. There's just a few missing here and there. Now, the problem with these Pokemon, especially Meltan and Melmetal, they have to be in Go. Well, yeah, because they only have a stupid box that you have to open. So I'm technically having to use Pokemon Go to shiny hunt as well, which is a dreadful thing because Pokemon Go is a dreadful app. I don't like it very much is what I'm trying to say really. So yeah, there's the Gen 9 decks, including the DLCs. So I think from memory, I'm in the 750 mark at least in total Pokemon. It's quite crazy because if I do this view, this is what it looks like. Hold on, not there yet. Just a couple, just a few. Yeah, I can't tell you which one's a favourite. My favourite I've hunted so far. It's been just a fun journey. So yeah, as I was saying actually at the start, yeah. So yeah, Fire Red, Leaf Green, Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, and then I've also got Japanese Platinum. I've also got Pokemon Heart Gold, Soul Silver in Japanese as well. And then I've got, for the Gen 5 games, I've got Pokemon Black and White. Gen 6, I've got both. For some reason, I've got 2 copies of X and 1 copy of Y. And then for Gen 7, I've got Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, and Sun. And I think I've got all of them for some reason as well. And then for Gen 8, I've got both Pokemon Sword and Shield. And Gen 9, I've got both Scarlet and Violet. There is one game I've got, which I have not mentioned, but it's not really technically a mainline game. And that is Pokemon Stadium. There are shinies in that game, but the way to hunt them is a bit... well, it's not flimsy, it's a bit different, and I'm not really keen on shiny hunting in that. But people who said if I've got the game, I should try at least once. So, maybe I will. But I'm not too keen on it right now. As obviously, as you can see, there's some holes to fill here. And some of them, I guess, are like myths and legendaries. And that's the thing too, because like Diancie here is a gift from Gen 7, I believe, or Gen 6. So some of these you have to obtain by mystery gifts. And luckily there are people out there with Pretendo servers or something like that where they have the mystery gifts to get. So fortunately for things like Zygarde here and Yveltal and Xerneas, these guys are shiny huntable in Gen 7. So, well, these two are anyway in particular. Zygarde is only available in the max dungeon lairs in Crown Tundra. And yeah, I've heard some stories about people shiny hunting this thing, and I was very fortunate that I got it quick, very quick. I don't want to say how quick because it'll make people jealous. Shiny Meloetta here is also a gift from completing the Dex in Gen 8's DLC. So everyone has their own Meloetta now. Genesect as well. They were also a mystery gift from Gen 5 or Gen 6, one of those two. Also another thing too, because obviously Shiny Locks came in at Gen 5, I've had to shiny hunt these in Gen 6. So that explains why how I got them. And I think all before Gen 5, everything was pretty much shiny. Manaphy, I had to use I've got a modded 3DS, or just a modded DS. So you can mod in the eggs and do all the fussing around with the egg trading and whatnot to hatch shiny. And then this one I believe I might have hatched in Brilliant Diamond Shiny Pearl, which is a technicality because it's a remake and I don't really like having the shiny in the decks, in my shiny living decks in home from Diamond Pearl, from Shining Pearl. So I kind of might have to go back and find it in the original games, which you can obviously do it. So yeah, I'm glad I'm actually doing this video because I've been meaning to do it, and it's been 6 odd years since I started this thing. So if you can do the math, like I started this the day basically Let's Go came out because it was such an easy game to shiny hunt. Yeah, if you can do the maths, great. Put in 6 years and a lot of hours for shiny hunting. Probably the most annoying ones to hunt. I don't really know what the most annoying one would be to hunt. Probably the fossils, because you have to gather them and then, I don't know, populate them, I suppose is the way to put it. But yeah, lots of shinies, lots and lots of shinies, and still many to go. I'm over halfway, but I think I'm still another 350, 400 away from finishing. So yeah, I used to put up shorts about my shinies, but then it just got too much work because I was trying to upload shorts and then try to get viewership and then make people want to subscribe or whatnot. But then in the end, it's come more of a hobby than just a kind of like a thing that, oh, I must stream this or I must produce content for this. So it's become more an off-air, yeah, kind of thing where I just go at my own pace when I feel like streaming. If I'll stream, or if I've got my phone nearby and I want to record my screen, my 3DS or just normal DS, or even my Game Boy. I've got a GBA, but I don't use it for showing hunting because the backlit screen is terrible. So as you can see, Gen 2 has probably like the bare minimum, because I sped run those games so I can get to these two. So I get Ho-Oh and Lugia. As you can see, Lugia is the same name in English and Japanese, so I did it backwards in Japanese. So it says, instead of Lugia, it's Aigura. Aigura. And Ho-Oh is just Uh-Oh, because that's if that's not the most unoriginal name, then I don't know what is. So yeah, that's it, guys. Yeah, just thought I'd upload this video for those of you who are interested in Pokemon and shiny hunting. This has been my story for the past 6 years, and yeah, like I said, it's still got a bit more to go. But hey, yeah, we're coming close to the end. Probably give me another 2 or 3 years and I'm gonna be done. I did set out to have 10 years, so I'm 6 years in, and I've still got another 4 roughly to go. But the only issue is, within those 4 years, there's gonna be another new game, which will be the Pokemon Legends ZA. It is currently December 24th as of filming, and so I'm anticipating probably a few more new Pokemon. Hopefully not too many though. I don't see it like being a whole new dex. It's obviously going to be a bunch of Gen 6 Pokemon and then some refreshing or remix on some older Pokemon who will get new forms or stuff like that. So yeah, I'm kind of working my way up to that now, I guess, just anticipating new Pokemon. But yeah, I thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you guys being up to this point. If you're still watching, consider yourself to leave a like or subscribe if you want. I'm not really fussed if you do or don't. Yeah, just thought I'd let you know my story. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you all in the next video. Merry Christmas, and have a Happy New Year.